And so he asked about her, and everybody told him, "No, she's off limits. She's married." But he didn't care. And you know why he didn't care? Because she gave him a reason not to care. Because, yeah, you know? And so, anywho, um, that was that Friday night, whatever. So remember, I told you she came that Saturday morning. She keeps talking about this Buick character, right? So anywho, she's like, yeah, so Buick, this and the third, blah blah blah. So her and Buick been talking that night, that or whatever. And I just, from what I can remember, I just always seen her, and I kept telling her like yeah, so and so, like yeah, you need to like go home, like you need to tread softly because you get a little bit too comfortable out here, like you're doing too much, blah blah blah. And so then she says, then Saturday comes, they all, once again, they go out. Saturday night comes, they're going out. But as she keeps telling my wife, why don't you just stay here? You don't have to go to the hotel. And my wife is adamant on going to the hotel. She was like, no, just cancel it. You don't need to go there. And she's like, no, I don't want to be in this house. I want to go to the hotel. I want to go to the hotel. And she's just like, there's no need to go to the hotel. It's just you. She's like, no, I don't need to be in this environment. I want to go to the hotel. So she's just like, okay. So she thinks she's being slick and I guess heads in her vehicle and like kind of like pulls off or fake pulls off. And somebody else, the same girl, I believe it was, who called out in the wedding, who's your wife? Saw Buick hop in my wife's car. Or drive, no, saw Buick drive off behind my wife. One or the other. It was something like that. At the end of the day, they saw her and Buick leave. So obviously, everybody knows this. Hence why there was the little snickers and the stares and the uncomfortability at the wedding, making me look like a fool, talking, doing a speech, talking my children, bringing my family to look like an idiot at this wedding. Knowing you did what you did, whatever you did, right? I'm just listening to all the details, right? And I'm getting upset. I'm getting tight. Remember, his nickname is Buick, right? So fake, obviously. So, we're talking about, she's just filling me in all the details. I'm talking about that. It was a lot. I mean, and it wasn't even all of it. And I'm start pulling up the house and I'm like, cuz I'm about to, she's like, no, no, no. I know how you are. She was like, come to my house. I said, F that. I'm going to talk to my wife. She was like, and plus, I'm not in that space. I got the answer that I needed. Trust me, I'm not in that space. She's like, no, I don't trust you. I said, I'm just so sorry that Jaquan did this. I said, wait, who? She said, Jaquan. I said, who's that? Oh, that's Bill's government name. Yeah, now I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back. She said, oh, cuz. I said, now I'm gonna call you back. How about the I'm fuming. I'm fuming. I go in that. She sleep, knocked out on the couch, just peaceful. And I just said, with the biggest smile on my face, we're getting divorced. She's just like, oh, how, what now? So I had some questions, and I said, before you think about lying, just know I know the answer, right? Where were you Saturday? What happened? This, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. She's lying. So I said, you know what? F that. I'm calling my cousin. She's like, all right, well, this is what happened. This, that, and third. And my wife is silent. And then it was like, oh, did you tell him about Monday night? The Monday night where she came home 3 o'clock in the morning? What about it? And remember, she on speaker. Oh, that she did dot 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 dot. Like I said, don't need to go into full details with what happened, but I'm pretty sure we're all adults. We can pick up what I'm putting down. So I'm like, oh, so it happened two two times, and then it's the same person that you were talking to afterwards, lying, saying it was a friend from high school, covering up, and I'm talking about it was just at that point anger, but also relief. It was a weird feeling. It was a very weird feeling. I don't know how to explain it. But I feel like the reaction that most people would have had, I didn't really have until I heard about Monday night. And I think that's when everything just really just thing because of how she did it. And once again, I'm gonna leave that detail out because just know it was bad. It was bad. What she ended up doing Monday night was bad. How like her the actions within itself was just horrible. And in the book, I'm probably gonna release that detail, but in the video, I'm not. That is what it is. You just have to get the book to find out. So yeah, I just basically like start snapping, kick. I tell her get out, whatever. This is done. Blah blah blah. Call her family. Tell her family. I can't believe this. I think once I got on the phone with my sister-in-law, that's when the emotions kicked in. That's when I started crying. That's when the hurt came and everything. I was just like, I was just hurt. I mean, just how it went down was painful. It was painful. It was embarrassing. I mean, the betrayal in itself is betrayal, but the actions behind it, the lack of care, um, and then as the days went on, I was just finding out more and more stuff, more and more stuff. I'm talking about my cousin's best friend, the other maid of honor, called and was telling me info. I'm like, the things that were coming out of my wife's mouth about me was painful. The lies. I'm talking about lies after lies after lies after lies after lies. And for the res- for her, for the respect of her, there are a lot of things that I'm keeping out because I'm not sure if she'll be, some things is just it is what it is, facts. But things that are a little bit too personal, for the respect of her, I'm gonna keep it out, right? Not sure if I'm gonna put it in the book yet, but at least for the sake of the video, I'm gonna keep it out. But there are lies that were just crazy to me. And this is when I started to really see the real person. Like I'm talking about, as I'm talking to people from her past, they're like, "Yeah, this is the so and so that we know," and I'm like, "Really? That's nuts. That's nuts. That's nuts." And I'm talking about this woman betrayed me like a dog in the streets. Not like it wasn't a regular affair, and the actions. It wasn't a regular affair or anything. The way she did it, how she did it, the lack of care, the lack of respect. I'm talking about people said she was moving that weekend as if she was a single woman, as if she had no kids or husband at home. That's why a lot of them were shocked at the wedding because she kept saying she was married. Some people was hearing it, but it just her actions weren't matching her words. You know what I'm saying? And she was making it seem like as if we were already done. Meanwhile, we're in marriage counseling. And like it was just bad. I mean, like the betrayal was bad, you know. So after, it's getting all the information, she's still lying about things. So now I'm having to call more people and put them on speaker because listen, I don't got time for the childish games. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk. We're all adults. What happened? She's saying you're lying. So the other person's on the phone like, come on now, like don't call me a liar. That's mad disrespectful. This is what like they're approaching her head on like I'm not lying and I have receipts. People are like I have receipts. I can send you stuff. They're like, man, she was on the phone talking about spending a whole week with him in New York. I said, wait, what? So now, remember I said earlier that week is near, everything's coming together. She's like, no, I didn't. I said, so then what was that week that you was talking about going to go spend time with your daughter? Huh? Well, that was random. And I said to myself, that was random when she brought it up. Bro, yeah, I was hurt. I was hurt. I was betrayed. I mean, that's it. Ain't really nothing for more to talk about at this point. I mean, everything else after that is just the healing and how I got through it and basically the aftermath. So